Welcome back to Gaming Hot Takes, a series where I read your hottest takes about various video games. In today's video, I'll be reading your hottest takes about the original Luigi's Mansion. I am very curious what you guys have to say about one of the GameCube's launch titles, and it was technically a tech demo as well, if you guys forgot. So with that said, let us see what you guys sent in for your hot takes about Luigi's Mansion 1. It had an actual horror/creepy vibe to it. Not to mention Luigi's calling out for Mario got more frantic the lower his health gets, and the VA performance is really authentic and chilling when Luigi is at low health and desperately pleading for Mario. Yeah, this game's got some pretty good sound design, I would say, from Luigi, being afraid the whole entire time to calling out Mario when he's, walking around. The ghosts are pretty good as well. Some of the VAs for the portrait ghosts are pretty neat. So, yeah, this game really was designed well as far as the sound design, audio design, and I think they did kind of nail, how to make a creepy/horror game without, making it seem too gory, bloody, scary for kids. I think they nailed the right tone as far as, being scary and terrifying, but not, trying to, frighten kids that much. So, yeah, this game definitely had a lot when it comes to various elements as far as the horror elements, the sound design, audio design. Just a lot of good things to say about how this game was made. I thought the mansion felt massive when I was a kid, but playing it recently, I realized how small it actually is. Yeah, it's definitely not super big. I mean, you do have to account for the outside sections and the various, bonus rooms you can find. But it's definitely not that big. That said, it is kind of expansive for, the first Luigi's Mansion. Obviously, the other two are probably a lot bigger in terms of scope, with, better hardware and mechanics to work with. But, this one I feel like was kind of a good size. You have, multiple floors. You got the basement, you got the first floor, the second floor, and then the roof, I think? Are there 4 floors or 5 floors? I forgot. But, yeah, I think it was a pretty good size. I mean, could have been bigger, maybe, but I think because, again, this game was made to be a tech demo mostly. It wasn't made to be, a fully expansive game, and it kind of ended up being sort of that thing. So, yeah, their goal was to just, make this sort of, not bite-sized game, but, small enough to, be beaten in, maybe less than 10 hours or so. So, yeah, I think for what they were going for, the mansion is a pretty decent size. It could have been bigger for sure, but I think for the first game, it was probably about the perfect size. My only real hot take is how limited the soundtrack is. Most of it is different iterations of the main theme. Even then, though, every piece fits where it's played, so it's only so much of a detracting factor. So yeah, the OST is definitely, it's mostly just, I guess, sound effects and, creepy piano, stuff and whatnot. The main theme, though, where you're, walking through the hallway, the dun 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 dun, that's obviously iconic. I mean, that, is a good track. But, I think some of the battle themes, too, with the ghosts are pretty good. But, yeah, even though the overall, sound and audio design is, definitely good in this game, I think the overall, OST, the music that plays during the game could have been better. It does feel like it's very limited, and some things kind of sound very similar, or they repeat themselves, or just not really that memorable. But again, similar to the last hot take, this was made to be a tech demo, so they weren't really trying to, cram in this big, giant OST, like Mario Sunshine, for example, that was meant to be, a peak GameCube OST, I guess. So, again, that does make sense. I do kind of wish there was more to this soundtrack, but, again, for what was a tech demo, I think they probably had as good of a soundtrack as they could have. It feels too condensed with its location, and the gameplay is very repetitive. I much prefer the other two because the locations are much more interesting, and there are different ways of sucking up ghosts. So I obviously can't touch on the other two because I haven't played them yet, but, yeah, I mean, like I said, it does make sense that 2 and 3 are more expansive in terms of their locations and, traveling through because of, the better hardware and, the more expansive scope of the game. But, yeah, similar to the mansion hot take from before where they're it's, kind of not as big as I thought it was. Again, I've said it over and over again, this was made to be a tech demo. This was not made to be a fully fledged game. Even though it is kind of a fully fledged game now that we think about it, this was made to just, showcase the GameCube's, features. So, they weren't really trying to make a big location that was meant to be this big giant place to explore, Mario Sunshine with Delfino Plaza, for example. So, even that's not really that big. But anyway, you guys get my point. a lot of these are just, you know, going back to the same point here. This was made to be a tech demo, and it should be treated as such. So, yeah, the gameplay being repetitive, I mean, sucking the ghosts up, I kind of agree. I do feel like 2 and 3 are probably less repetitive because they give you more options to suck up the ghosts, especially in 3 with the whole, like, slimming the ghosts. But, yeah, again, it's the same, you know, answer here for me. Tech demo, they had a limited scope here, and with what they made, they got as good as they probably could have at that point in time. It's not even remotely frightening. I don't get people who judge the sequels for toning down the horror when there was never any to begin with. So you gotta understand here for just a minute that it's a Mario game, well, not a Mario game, but a game in the Mario universe, and the Mario universe is kind of geared more towards kids, so they're not gonna make a horror game that has, like, blood and weapons and a lot of gore in it, like Resident Evil, for example, or FNAF, or whatever else you can think of. So, I mean, what were you expecting, right? It's a Mario-based game. They're not gonna have Mario characters killing each other, and they're gonna have ghosts, like, sucking your soul out or anything. So yeah, I mean, the whole toning down the horror, I don't really know. I gotta play the other two before I say that for myself. But, even if they do, again, like, this whole series is meant to be a fun kind of creepy, right? Not like a bloody creepy, or a bloody, or like a, you know, a game that's meant to jump scare you a lot. So, yeah, I mean, if you were expecting more, that's kind of on you, because it's a Mario game. It's not meant to be a game that's supposed to give you this big, giant scare a lot of the time. It's meant to be, you know, a fun kind of scary game. So, yeah, I mean, if you wanted more, then that's probably on you, my friend. The lack of portrait ghosts in the later games is really disappointing. Every portrait ghost feels like an event. The way they add depth to the haunted setting makes it even better. The enemies in the later games have less personality by comparison. As I've mentioned, I haven't played the other two Mansion games, so I can't really touch on that a whole lot. But as far as this game, I feel like these ghosts have pretty good personalities. So, I like the one guy where he's just eating over and over again until you get him. I love what's her name? Madame Clairvoya or something, where she has the crystal ball. She was a cool one. The baby was fun. There's a lot of cool ghosts in here, but, again, I can't touch too much on the rest of this hot take, because I gotta play 2 and 3 first, but, I've seen some gameplay of 2 and 3, and the ghosts seem cool. I mean, I gotta play them myself to really know their personalities, but, even if they aren't really as cool as this one, that doesn't really take away from the game a whole lot, I would think. Because, again, the whole point is, like, you know, can they keep the tone of Luigi's Mansion? Can they keep the whole fun of the game? Can they keep the whole identity of the series? So, if that happens, that's probably good enough for me. But, I'll play it for myself sometime, and we'll see what I think. But, as far as this game, the personalities of the ghosts are pretty good. Stop! Now she'll die a virgin! Stop! Stop it! Okay. Stop. Okay.
Stay the fuck in the fucking car!
Oh, fuck! That was a sneak peek of all the content that you might be missing out on by not becoming a YouTube member. When you're a YouTube member, you get so much bonus content, such as all my anime watch-throughs, classic content like old Twitch streams, movie watch-alongs, and more. So what are you waiting for? Hit the join button down below, pick the tier you want, and enjoy all the benefits that come with your YouTube membership. If you're already a member, thank you for your support, enjoy your benefits, and now let's get back into the video. We didn't need that many boo hunts. Here's the thing, right? The whole thing of catching the ghosts makes sense. It is the whole point of this game, is to capture ghosts in the poltergust and then, you know, turn them into portrait ghosts or whatnot, or give them to EGAT or whatever you have to do. But, like, they kind of are annoying. Like, the fact that you see a ghost and it can travel through walls and you can lose it easily. Here's the thing, I didn't get every ghost in the game. I got as much as I could to unlock the final boss, and that was it. But honestly, I don't have a desire really to go back and get the rest, because it is so frustrating to get all of them. Or just to get one, for example, because again, they can travel through walls and doors, and then you can easily lose them if you don't know where you're going. So, if they had just stuck to being in that room and just flying super fast, I would have loved that better, because at least I know they're still in that room, and they wouldn't ever leave. But the fact that they can leave the room and then just go wherever, pretty much, is just, it sucks. It's kind of frustrating, I'm not gonna lie, but, Yeah, as far as us not needing that many boo hunts, I thought it was fine. It's just the overall mechanic of catching them is kind of annoying. So I think less would have been probably better for the first game. But overall, the amount of hunts you have to do to get to the final boss, at the very least, I thought was fine. The boo losses fight is more annoying than fun for me. My least favorite in the game. It's a pain getting most of the boos and then having to lure the last 5 or so out so you can barely see because of the camera being locked in place. There is a delay when taking out your poltergust that makes it so you can scare them away faster than you can actually shoot. So you have to wait for them to charge at you and then more than likely hit you a few times. It's so tedious. Yeah, that fight was kind of annoying for sure. Having to, you know, freeze the ghosts and then suck them up, you know, having to make sure you're changing to the right poltergust every time was... It wasn't the worst thing, but it was kind of, what's the word? I guess cumbersome, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's not really a bad boss fight. It's just the way you have to go about it is kind of frustrating. It is kind of fun to an extent, you know, having to pop the big Colossus boss on the little, what are those things? The little statues that poke at it and they like split them into the different boos. So yeah, there is some fun here, but I think the overall way to actually go about getting this guy could have been done a little bit better. But yeah, I think it was fine, but it's definitely a kind of clunky boss fight. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but having to respawn back at the foyer every time is kind of annoying for playing the game 100%. See, that's a criticism for any game that does that ever, because, like, you know, if you play any game ever that has you do a mission, fail at the very end, and then respawn back at the very beginning, or in some, like, far-off location, like GTA, for example, like, it's always annoying. That's in so many games at this point, where it's kind of just a thing to expect at this point. So, yeah, for this game, yeah, it does kind of suck, but I mean... The mansion isn't really that expansive, to be fair. An earlier hot take kind of brought that up. It's not as big as we thought it was originally, but, yeah, still, having to respawn back at the foyer and walk all the way back to wherever you were, especially on, like, one of the top floors of the basement, can kind of suck. But, I mean, if you've played a lot of games like I have, you're kind of used to it at this point. Because, I mean, GTA is a lot worse, let me tell you. I just finished, San Andreas and the other 2 games before that, and, that's a lot more annoying. So this is kind of nothing compared to those games. But yeah, I mean, it's 2025. We now live in this era where it's kind of common in video games to just respawn back at the beginning or in some far-off area if you fail a mission or something. So, I mean, it's not that much of a hot take nowadays. I guess back then it probably was. But now it's just an expectation for pretty much any game you play these days. The best Mario game on GameCube, besides Sunshine. So here's the thing, is it a Mario game though? Because, I mean, Mario's in the game, but he's not the main character. It's kind of like the Luigi game, right? So, the best Luigi game on GameCube? Probably. The best Mario game on GameCube? I don't know, because again, this is made to be a tech demo, and Sunshine's definitely the better game. I'd put Mario Strikers, the original, up there. I'd put some of the Mario Parties up there from the GameCube era. I'd put, I guess some of the sports titles I haven't played yet are probably up there as well, once I get to play them myself. But, yeah, the best Mario game on GameCube besides Sunshine, probably not, because again, this isn't really a Mario game, it's a Luigi game. But, best Luigi game on GameCube? Probably, yeah, because, I mean, is this the only one he's gotten on GameCube? I think it is, right? Has he had other games on GameCube that aren't, like, you know, games that he's just a character in, like Mario Party, for example? I think it is, so I guess it's the only Luigi game on GameCube, so I guess that makes it the best by default, but, best Mario game? Probably not. I mean, if it does count as a Mario game, it's probably, like, top 10, top 5, but not, like, top 3, for example. Because there's other games I've played on GameCube that are Mario games that are probably a lot better than this. But, either way, whether you think it's a Mario game or not, this is still a good game that, more people should play. Justice for Madame Clairvoya. Oh, man, I still remember that. That was kind of sad. Like, seeing that she was willing to sacrifice herself to, you know, avoid Bowser coming in at the very end, and then you have to suck her up. Man, like, I liked her character so much. Like, her whole personality was kind of cool because, you know, when you first meet her, she's kind of like a villain, sort of, but then, you know, you warm up to her and then she's, you know, kind of your ally throughout the whole entire game. And then you basically have to kill, well, you don't really kill her, but you put her in a portrait, so, I guess that's kind of killing her, but either way, it's a very sad moment. Like, I enjoyed Madame Clairvoya. I'm not sure if she gets justice in the other two Mansion games. If not, then maybe the newest game, maybe Mansion 4, whatever it's gonna be called, is, gonna be where she maybe gets her revenge on Bowser or King Boo or whatever. I don't know, but, yeah, I agree. Justice for Madame Clairvoya. She was a great character that made a worthy sacrifice that let us beat Bowser in the very end. And, yeah, maybe one day, if not now, she'll one day get her, well-deserved justice. I don't have one. It is without flaw. Sir Weston can go fuck himself, though. First of all, sorry to tell you, but, no game is without flaw. I mean, even the most perfect games, from a glance, have some flaws with them. Like, I love Mario Galaxy 2. My favorite game of all time, but, even that game has some things you can point out as far as flaws. And this one probably does have some flaws. I think the ghost hunting is kind of annoying. There's definitely some, design issues, I would say, are there. But, as far as Sir Weston, I agree. I did not like Sir Weston. I already hate, like, ice physics in games these days, but, having to do a whole, like, small room with the ice floor and having these icicles fall at you that can be hard to avoid. And then you got him attacking you as well, and, you gotta throw snowballs at him. I think it's probably one of the most difficult bosses in the game. Maybe not the most difficult, but, yeah, that guy was definitely a pain in the ass. So, I agree with you there, but as far as, this game being without flaws, definitely don't. I feel like this game could have been, you know, more expansive. The soundtrack was definitely not the best. As I said, the ghost hunting could be kind of annoying. So, yeah, this game, like any other game, does have its flaws, but, this game I think is still a very good game, very good tech demo. It gave Luigi a pretty good spotlight for his first ever, you know, solo title. So yeah, without flaw, I wish I could agree with you, but, unfortunately, any game on the history, or in the history of ever, has at least one or a couple flaws with it, and this one definitely does too. Alright folks, that is it for your hot takes for Luigi's Mansion. Thank you all for your hot takes as always, and I'm pretty sure you guys watching this have hot takes you want to have for future episodes, so if you guys do, make sure you guys are following the BC King Gaming Hot Takes Reddit page. Link is right here, or in the pinned comments. Make sure you guys go check that out. But in the meantime, make sure you guys subscribe, ring the bell, and smash that like button if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys, as always, in the next one. Goodbye, everybody!